Right lads, welcome back to another video on the channel. It's been interesting, right? And trading with these new... I forgot what they're called. What are they called? Thunderstruck cards, right? They're actually pretty fun to do. Now, in the last video, if you didn't see it, it was up to date. I said Jesus would be a good one to do, right? I bought two for 215. He is currently close to 300k, which is quite interesting. I mucked up here. I was meant to put, I lost 10k, so I was meant to put Joe Linton up for 71, and I put him up for 51 for some weird reason. I don't know why, but everyone that I'm going to probably trade with, now there's always hype, right? So Roma play tomorrow. Regardless of what the outcome would be, you can always make coins just by selling during the build-up of the game because they always go up for more. So Jesus is up nearly 100k, and they haven't even played yet. So, if we go over, I can show you now. Here. Jesus is here, right? So Jesus is currently at 285k, and they haven't even kicked off yet. So if Arsenal go 1-0 up, that card's probably most likely flying. But the interesting part is Joe Linton, right? So Joe Linton, they won, right? They battered Chelsea. But if we go and have a look by the hour, he was like 73, 74k, and then now he's starting to come back a little bit. He goes to an 86 now, which is going to be a very good card. But there will be a sell-off because people have probably invested... I mean, 41k to 60, right? That's absolutely great. A lot of people have probably invested at 60k or 65, 66k. And Klosterman, this is why I've picked up Klosterman, right? And he's down 2.5k. He did lose today, right? But that is still a very good card. And he does still have the chance to get all 3 upgrades. They lost their first game, which was today. Yeah, you bought for 21, but you should always buy on this, right? So for me, Klosterman, he's going to be a very good one to do. And I went and picked up a few. I got one for 7. Well, I've picked up more than that because we're going to have a look. So they've all got bought for about 7. That's the most I've bought them for, right? It's 17.75. Now, why this is because going into next week, they will be home, I believe, because they were away today. So they'll be going home. They're in a good spot as well. If he goes to an 86, this card will be cracked. Honest to God. It will be a cracked card. And it wouldn't surprise me if he goes all the way. Leipzig are a good team. From them being away is not... being away from home is not the best. But that's why I went and got Klosterman, because I think the sell-off... There was just too much of a sell-off too quickly. Let's go and have a look. His price. And it's actually... love trading with live cards because the impact on it is massive, right? As you can see, everyone is just throwing this card up, even going below 17, which I'm still going to pick him up because going into next week, we should see a sell-off on this card. Well, we should see a buyback on this card, right? Even if he goes to 20, 21k, we've got enough to actually make coins on him. And he could drop down even more, right? But I don't plan to hold him long. He goes up during the week. That's absolutely great. He comes out of packs as well, I believe Friday, so before his next game. And yeah, so that's a good one to do. We're going to have a look. I think Lukaku's good. I bought a bunch of Lukaku's for 22. Go and have a look at his price. We can put special in because he's cheaper. We're never getting that. Lukaku always pops up for a very nice price. I believe he's come up to like 24k. He plays tomorrow. Roma play tomorrow. This card should keep going up until tomorrow. A very interesting card that's going to be. Very interesting. I do want to see as well where else we can invest in, right? So I really want to do Emre Can. And I should have, man, because he flew up. I thought I'll sell a few things and I was going to buy him, honest to God. I was going to buy him around about here. No, I wasn't. I was going to buy him around about here. It was about 85k when I was going to buy him. I was going to pick up a bunch. I should have backed out of that one. That's my bad. Who else you've got? See, these cards are like kind of ridiculous. But what I do like is... I look at new cards, right? What I do like is the female versions of the cards, right? So like the women's football here. Because That could go to a 91. Like, she's going down, which is ridiculous, right? Now looks like a very good card. What has she got? I don't know what that is. Can't do that. Where do you look at there? I don't know. But that, for me, I don't know how good PSG women are, but that's a good price. I can imagine that's a good price anyway. But you got Loftus-Cheek, which is an objective, which would be pretty good. Bremer as well. Juventus player, so that could be a good card as well. That could be a solid card. I need Jesus to sell. I've put both up for 300, which would be interesting to see if I can get. Even if he goes up more than that, because Arsenal on a pretty good run, so it shouldn't be too bad. But what I would do is trading with these cards. Again, if the games are over, or you're trading with these cards anyway, you need to sell them pretty quickly unless you're holding them, right? So, for me, like Joe Linton, right, when I was trading with him, I would have made a lot more coins if I actually put him up for the crap price. You could probably still sell him for 71k, right? So he pops up more than enough. There you go, that's 60k, 65k. We're going to go and put him up for 71. I think that's a pretty nice price right there. That's not too bad. And that's, I mean, for me, I'm not gonna invest in too much because I tend to like not come on the game for like weeks at a time. Well, not weeks at a time, days at a time, and it proper affects me making coins because I either leave it too late where the cards just go up anyway, or I lose a bunch of coins, which probably going to do. I've lost a few coins lately just because the fact of I'm not coming on to do it. I'm not either to make the coins. I'm leaving players in the transfer list that and then it's hitting me double time, which is a bit annoying. But we're trying to see what we can do, right? I've got the web app, so there's no excuses. But for me, I think Joe Linton will be. He's okay now at the moment to trade with and to flip, but the cards that I'm going to stick with are the ones I've showed you. I think they're all right. They're kind of in my budget as well. So Klosterman, I think there will be a buyback on Klosterman. The only reason is a lot of people have invested in this card and now he's just lost, which is no good, right? Because people have got to wait a week and they're afraid that, and they see the panic selling on him, go down a ton, and they don't like that. But we've made up for the coins that we've lost on Joe Linton there with the two Jesuses that we picked up for 215. If Arsenal go 1-0 up early on, and he's already up to nearly 300k, this card will go straight through 300k. And Lukaku, we bought Lukaku's at 22. Maybe some for cheaper, I'm not really sure. We just go, we just got to then. And I've just got a load of fodder and everything to sell, which I need to go up because I want to make coins on it, but I want to make a decent amount of coins, and I don't want to hold them for this long and then just make like, 100, 200 coins a card or something. It annoyed me a little bit, but that would have been a nice one. But at the moment, Joe Linton looks like he's a very good one to do, and he pops up a lot. What you probably could do as well is, oh yeah, look, there's not many up at all. But can't be that many up. I was gonna say, there's got to be more than that. Whether he actually isn't that price, because sometimes it can glitch out. Believe you me. No, I mean, he is about 70,000 coins, so you could. I mean, here we go. Mate, if you're quick on this, you can make an absolute killing by the looks of things. Try and get another one. If not, we'll probably try and bid. So I think bidding will be the way at the moment. 6 there. Don't forget that. Why is it saying there's like none up? Plenty up. We'll try and bid on these anyway. But as with trading with these cards, if a team does lose and there's a big crash on these cards, honest to God, you just want to see what the price is going to. So for me, Klosterman, he ain't going to be much cheaper than that. I can't imagine him being much cheaper than 17k. Might drop down to 16. When the game week comes back round again, I can imagine, which is next week, I can imagine that card just shooting up. I think they've got to be in a domestic league game, so I think they've got to be their actual league. which I think they play next week. I've done my research a little bit more than that. But this will be very nice. Yeah, domestic. Yeah, and they're domestic league matches. So, so Joelinton gets. Does he go a +1 in form? He's an 85, so he goes straight to an 86. Who their next 2 games? That'd be interesting to see because Newcastle, they're not a team you can just barge over. So yeah, for me that is who I'm going to go with. Hopefully Lukaku goes up a bunch, and always sell into the hype, boys. You've always got to sell into the hype right on these cards. Like let's say for instance, because Arsenal kick off in 10 minutes, and this card's up for 30 odd minutes. So I thought he would like sell. I need Arsenal to go 1-0 up before this card after this card expires. So I need them to just before half time maybe nick a goal, or 30 minutes in just to nick a goal. Because if they do, Jesus is getting bought for 300k and he's probably going to like 330, 340. Or it could, I mean, that's what I would think, but it would shock me if he went down from there. If they go 1-0 up, he probably will come down overall. And you'll probably see that with Joelinton. It'll probably come down overall because it is a long way to wait. We should see. Right? We'll see what goes on from there. But yeah, having some nice. That's how I would trade with these. Pretty simple, pretty easy. The icons are just well out, right? Well out there. They're too expensive. They're just too hard to predict. For me, that's going to be it. Hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one, boys.